Hello guys and welcome back. You guys are looking at a Jetmont 160 Merlin. And this is a beautiful engine. I want to talk to you guys about buying equipment a little bit. And guys, I saved a shit ton of money and I couldn't be happier. This engine is low time. It doesn't have but a couple hours on it. I think it's 4, if I'm not mistaken. But in 25 years, this will last me a couple of years. And this one's been serviced and I have records of it. And I've got everything here to get it up and start getting it on this rear pad. And this is where it's all gonna go. Now, while we're on the subject of this thing, I've been using all my spare Bondo that I've used for this to actually make a plug mold. And I want to talk a little bit about what I've got going on here. I'm going to start getting this dressed up and ready to go and get it prepped off. And this, with the 2 tanks that go in here, these will fit on either side. And they're going to be available through Bob Moore. And those of you guys who know who he is going to make Kevlar gas tanks for the Mears RC jets and for me. And I made the plug, and I'm actually going to make this done, and they will carry there will be no need for a 3rd tank except for smoke. You're going to have 1.5 gallons worth of fuel. And they're going to be made out of Kevlar. And if you guys want these, I can actually get a little bit more out of it now that I've seen this, but I don't want to get too overly crazy with this. But if you guys want these, PM me. They're going to be, I haven't got a full price on them yet, but they will be Kevlar, and they're a really good idea. It's a safety thing, this and that. If you want to reuse Graupner tanks, go ahead, but you're not going to get the fuel capacity we're going to get out of these. And those of you guys that know who Bob Moore is, he is actually a pretty amazing fiberglass artist ninja. And badass actually just spews out of his veins, and he does it with a chuckle and he's a guy that really loves what's going on. He will have the molds to make these tanks. And so I am making this. I'm going to make them tight so they don't move around. Of course, you guys know, just don't have a vibration problem, and so we're not worried about that. They just don't vibrate. So yeah, there's nothing that's going to come loose. Anyways, this episode is about buying equipment and saving money in the hobby. And I've gotten to know a lot of really good guys all over the world, all over the place. And I love dealing with my public and this and that. And I don't mind getting on Facebook groups and throwing a line out there and saying, hey, I don't want to pay $3,500 for a turbine. Who's got a used one? Low time. I need a minimum requirement of 160 on this. And this is the result of that. And I've seen a lot of guys from the UK that are getting. And guys, the shipping is irrelevant to the cost of what one of these freaking engines costs new. And I'll tell you what, it might cost you $100 to have this thing shipped and insured. But I'm going to tell you something. I got this engine for less than half of what it costs new. It's not, this is a Jetmont engine. This is a Merlin. This is one of the better ones to get. Doesn't mean that you're going to find Merlins all day long, but you are going to be able to come out and you're gonna get the deal. And these engines have a fantastic history. This is almost as good as Jet Cat, or his just as of equivalent. It's a great engine. And it's going to power this F86 wonderfully. And I'm going to show you guys something. This is just so cool. You get in the look and you're starting to see all this electric spaghetti starting to show up in there. Well, guys, we're getting ready to start doing some wiring and all this. Now I've got a lot of this stuff. This is the beautiful thing about the mirror set stuff. No, I will not paint the airplane, and I will not do any more finishing with that in here. I will take it out. I just set it in here for demonstration purposes, and so I can fabricate and make the parts that I actually need. And I will do this with some T6 aluminum, and I will actually put it in and sandwich a piece over. And I have some of this material. I have a lot of it. I just don't know what I did with it because I've been farting around doing other things. Anyway, we're getting a lot closer, guys. Not only am I going to be doing this, why I'm getting this and detailing and weighting things, I'm going to be starting on these wings again. I'm going to get these tip tanks done and all these other things, well, wing tanks and all that. I'm getting all this stuff ready to go. We are going to go all out, balls to the wall. I'm probably going to put it in probably about 50 or 60 hours this week to try to get a lot of this thing so I look like I've got a working jet in here. I'm going to be going over electronics and what I do to make them. I have the wire. I have 100 feet of wire. Don't need that much, but I've got that. I've got this. I've got everything I need. We're going to start getting things ready to go. We're going to get the body work finished up on this thing and get it all finished up and glassed. Get it primered. I'm going to do this one off camera. I'm not going to show a lot of progress on it because I did this one. It's the same thing over, and it's just going to be what it is. And so I'm going to get this thing to where I can start getting the details. I've got a year to get this airplane ready for Top Gun. I've got to get this body work done within the next 2 or 3 weeks so I can start doing details, start bringing and putting different things in this. This is not going to be the run-of-the-mill airplane. My main retracts are on the way. A lot of you guys know I had my nose gear custom built for this airplane. And once it's here, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about who did it, who's making what. But John Spencer is a viewer of mine. He's also part of the deal in the Facebook UK Flyers. And he's the one I got this engine from. And I'm going to tell you what, guys, it only took 4 days to get here. So it wasn't even that big. And I'm in Seattle, Washington. So you're not taking gambles. If you got PayPal, that's the safest way to go. Everything is good. And by the way, this is funding another jet for him, or another airplane anyway. And he's a viewer. I mean, these are guys that are subscribed to this channel that are going. So, you know, if you do get on these deals, Facebook's a really good place to find deals in a lot of these groups. Just make sure that whoever you're dealing with has the same people that you know, is not a troll. I mean, not just going in looking and just filling the waves out of everything. Make sure that you guys are actually talking to these people. Make sure they have PayPal. And don't be afraid to buy used equipment. That's all I'm saying about all of it, because there's just so many things. Also, guys, you're not going to have any problem mounting this because all of your screws and everything are done. Now, this needs to be mounted in here And you got to have a 3mm gap on this with the funnel to the tailpipe. Now that I know what size of tailpipe I've got and everything, I can get on here and I can get this done. And we're going to make some hard mounts in the back of this, which is why I've not glassed it. We're going to get the tailpipe ordered, and we're going to start running some wires for the tail lights on this one to get a lot of this other stuff buttoned up and done. Not going to talk a lot about it on this one because this is no different to finish up than that. We've already discussed everything there is to discuss with this. I'm just going to go for it and get this done. But now I will cover a lot of the things on the wire building and a lot of other things I'm doing. I will cover the hatch and I will show you that working and things like that. But guys, we're getting real close, and we're going to start gear installation, and it's just a major turning point of this build is having everything here. And you know, it's not about well, I guess it is kind of about who's got the most toys, but the reality about everything is that there's just a ton of things out there. And it's also one of the reasons why I really thoroughly enjoy this hobby, is because there's so many good people out there. The camaraderie is amazing. And I can give you a for instance, guys. And this is why this hobby is so important to me and why I'm so passionate about it and why I like doing what I do. And the main thing is because we've all found a common ground. We got people from Germany, Italy. We got everything. It's like Carton Alexander getting with me and winding up being a friend and things like that come out there that actually got in. It took an idea I was talking about in one episode of this and making it a reality. The guy wound up being one hell of a very talented machinist. Probably most innovative I've seen. Absolute mind-blowing work. And you'll see that soon. And I think one of the big things is that I'm sure over a course of time that we're going to be able to make a lot of really cool things available, very reasonably priced. Now, my main landing gear, the mains that I am going to put in this wing, I'm running air retracts. And so I do have a few little things in here to put in and do. Now, we do know that our batteries go right here. We do know we have jumpers that go across in here. They do actually tie up underneath. If you look under here, you got tabs everywhere. And they will actually go up. And you have tabs everywhere in here to get them and run. All these are wire hangers, and we're going to go through every bit of this. So a lot of these things, a lot of these pieces and parts that we have in here, they run all over. So a lot of these things like this and battery parts and all that are going to be neatly routed so they run up into here, and I will simply extend this wire. And this again will be run in here in conjunction with everything, so that everything that we got in here is actually run and very neat. I'll just get more wire here and I will actually make this work well and make sure that you're keeping all these pieces and parts like that. This will just simply slide in through there. And then this area here, like that heat shrink tube, we will simply extend it out and put it where it needs to go. And all these things will be done, and they will be done extremely neatly. The thermocoupler, which runs down through here, will actually run in, and they will all run into here. The speed, all the controls, everything are very clearly marked on this, and it will just go, this is just Velcro together. And be careful like I did and don't cut wires if you can help it. Now all of your fuel lines and all your strainers and everything else and your trap and all that stuff still going to go into here. Okay, mine will be in there once I have the main tanks and all that stuff, then I'll get it. But anyway, all of this stuff will be put in and installed very neatly and simplified. And this is going to be something that will be actually screwed in like so, right in here. And then the battery will set to the side of it. We have a lot of little things going on in here. It could actually sit right here. It's just a matter of finding places to put everything that you want and making it so that it's easy to go with. So anyway guys, we are going to get everything kind of ironed out and done, and we're going to make this very user friendly. I am going to I'm just about ready to take and get this configured and mounted where it goes through the side, and it'll actually simply come out right here in the middle of a detail, and I'll go over that here in a little bit, because I do want to put a washer in here for it to keep it kind of done. Now guys, all this dust and stuff like that, you don't want that in your turbines. I just set that there for now and everything, and I will come back and shop back and clean this airplane very well before you can get into anything else. But the beautiful thing about it is all these parts, we can take them out. We don't have to install them in the airplane. We can take them and make them removable. If you got any questions about where things should go, don't be afraid to go and talk to, don't be afraid to talk to Damiano or look at his photos and how he did everything. He's got things everywhere in his. And there's things to do, and you just want to make your applications as custom and as neat and everything as possible. And these will be held in with servo screws, and they will set in so that and every single one will get a screw. And yes, I have all the tabs. I just got them put away so I don't lose them, because when I was doing other things, I kept on bouncing them around. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We're going to start getting things going, and these will be ready, and I'll go over a little bit and show you how that fits just before I send it off to get them molded. And I could actually get just a little bit more out of them, but I don't want to make the molds ridiculous. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the funny papers.